We already did this once. Do we have to do this again? When Druid is on top of the meta, there is nothing wrong. It teaches players how to be better at the game. Druid metas are the most superior metas in all of Hearthstone. All hail the Doomkin. Can I go home now? I have a family.
If I were to take a shot every single time a Druid stole my mana this season, I'd be dead. Like 4 times.
It's about that time of year again. Druid has broken the meta yet again. And even though these stats may not look like Druid is on top of the ladder, do not be confused. Druid was sitting at I believe, like rank 7, rank 6, or something like that. And in the past week, it has shot up to the 2nd spot on the global win rates of all of HSReplay. Just think about that for a second. Druid, I think, was sitting at below a 50% win rate about a week ago, but there's been some major developments in the class. A very specific deck has popped up that I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of, and today we're gonna talk about it because it's literally everywhere. If you look at the data in the past 7 days, Diamond through Legend on HSReplay, what we are referring to as Combo Druid, which I don't really know why it's called Combo Druid, but I kind of get why it's called Combo Druid, but I don't know who first coined this. I don't know who first figured out this archetype, but this deck has absolutely exploded onto the scene in the past week with 2,300 games versus the second most popular deck being the Mining Death Knight at around 15,000 games. So an 8,000 game difference at Diamond through Legend. But when we look at Legend itself, Combo Druid is more than doubled the most popular deck. And then look at this, man. 6,000 games with a different list, 5,000 games with another list, 4,300 games with another list. That's a lot of games, and that is like almost 4 times what Mining Death Knight is. And then we have Pain Warlock, Shopper Demon Hunter. This is all, you know, with the nerf in mind, so this data is not 100% reliable on how these decks are now. But the point that I'm trying to portray is that everyone and their mother is playing Druid right now. Even in Legend, it's the same freaking thing. Like 2,400 games in top Legend, 1,300 games with this list, 760 games with this list, and then you look around, look at how much Druid there is. Like there's Mining Rogue, there's Nature Shaman, there's Shopper, Demon Hunter. These are all going to be decks that are going to be fine. Pain Warlock might, you know, survive with the grit of its teeth because it can kind of survive a Celestial Projectionist nerf. But the point that I'm making is that Druid is just everywhere, and it's not just, you know, HSReplay proving this. Donkey is also proving this, to where if you go to the main, you know, front page of the website, here all the decks are available right now. Apparently people are trying Odd Rogue and Odd Hunter, so this is one thing I like to show about, you know, checking out the Donkey website. You might find some very interesting decks because streamers are trying to do something weird right now in this very, you know, Druid-like meta. And if you look on the data, Druids everywhere. It is literally a goddamn nightmare. So now it's finally time to talk about this nightmare. Druid, but I'm just going to coin it as Tempo Druid, but we have 2 different lists that we're going to look at that are both extremely similar. But the gameplay clips coming up ahead are going to be highlighting this list in particular that uses Magical Dollhouse and Bottomless Toy Chest, as well as a Spine-tailed Drake, in order to sometimes pressure, you know, some much needed board clears with Swipe. You have Tempo with the Spine-tailed Drake when you have like your Desert Nest, Matron turns. Like, this is just one of those decks where a lot of people were very confused on how exactly it was winning, and I've kind of figured it out. This deck is doing essentially 3 different things in order to absolutely dominate every single deck in the game. And when I say every deck, I really do mean every deck, because every deck plays mana, and Doomkin is one of your primary win conditions in this deck. I know, it might sound crazy, but when Doomkin is on top of the meta, you refer to him as Doom King, because he really is king right now. The reason why this card is so freaking powerful right now is I can literally prove it in one screenshot.
Oh my god, take a screenshot of that. Dude.
So if you check out one of Dane's most recent videos, how to make your opponent sick, I believe this is turn 4. Maybe turn 4, turn 5, I'm not sure. Go check out the video by Dane Hearth in order to see what's going on, because Our opponent is at 1 mana crystal. We are at 9 mana crystals going into our next turn, and we still have actions that can be done. Do you understand why this deck is busted? It doesn't matter what deck you are if you don't have any mana to spend, and that's exactly why Doomkin deserves your respect, because this card is absolutely busted thanks to the inclusion of Puppet Master Dorian. In typical mini set fashion, the mini set has actually broken Druid officially now to where it's not just like a gimmick to where, you know, oh, I just need to get my 1 mana owl and my 1 mana. No, we don't need to do that anymore. 1 mana Doomkins, 1 mana dragons. We still have 1 mana Eonars, 1 mana Ziliaxes, all extremely common because we have Dorian and Summer Flowerchild. So the idea of getting multiple Doomkins is not even that uncommon and is the main win condition of this deck in order to beat literally every single deck. Now, when you don't have your Doomkin, you still have plenty of other ways of winning the game by, you know, tempoing your dragons, sustaining the board, dealing damage every single turn, and sometimes one Doomkin with the tempo can be good enough to stop your opponent from playing like an AoE, playing like that key, like turn 5, you know, minion. Maybe they have like a Ziliax that would be playable they could deny because you took a mana crystal. There are so many ways of being able to evaluate this card because of how many lines it actually denies your opponent. So when you're building up the tempo and you deny the mana crystal, then you can do the most disgusting part of this deck, which is to, like, you know, play a bunch of swipes into the Trog Gem Tosser. That's right. You are beating your opponent with a bunch of rocks when they're already down in the dumps because you have all the mana crystals for yourself and your opponent has absolutely nothing. So this deck just deals a ridiculous amount of damage while putting you behind. It honestly should be a deck that should be nerfed, but here's, you know, a brave take that I'm going to give right now. This deck's not getting nerfed. I have some bad news for you. This deck is probably not going to be getting nerfed because we have a new expansion on the rise, and the whole point of the previous balance patch was to, you know, make the meta a little bit more tolerable as we wait this next month for the next cards, and it's just like, I really don't believe that Druid's going to receive any balance changes. Very similar to how Sludge Warlock didn't get nerfed during the last month of the previous rotation, since, you know, we have a new expansion on the rise, and things just have to, you know, spend their time on top of the ladder. But now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the actual mulligan of this deck, because sometimes it can be a little bit weird on how exactly you're supposed to pilot this deck. So in order to illustrate my point, I thought it would be a good idea to check the actual data because there's plenty of data regarding this deck. So we're looking at top legend data in the past 30 days with this particular deck. It is really all about the dragon synergies. Again, Splish Splash Whelp, 2 mana Wild Growth is the best way of thinking about it. Like, this is just what happens when Druid can ramp mana by turn 2, because now your turn 3 is going to be able to include turn 4 minions to where, you know, you can just play a 3/4 taunt into a 3/5 minion. That's already a lot of tempo. And if you have, you know, like an Innervate into a Doomkin, the game is simply just over. So depending on what matchup you have, obviously different cards are going to be more important to keep than others, because there are some situations to where you want to keep your Doomkin, for example. But the primary mulligan of this deck is going to be your Splish Splash Whelp, your Chia Drake, the Nest Matron, the Gift Wrapped Whelp. You're essentially keeping all of your tempo cards and all of your dragon cards, so you have that early game, and then you have the late game of Flowerchild as well as Dorian scams in order to put your opponent deep in the grave. But in other matchups, it is actually very reasonable to keep Malfurion's Gift because it is really effective to help you get that Doomkin win condition. So if you're going up against something like a warrior, your mulligan changes very considerably, as you can tell, because now we want to keep the Doomkin. We want to keep the Malfurion's Gift still, but its mulligan win rate is kind of low. But again, it's got a very high kept win rate. When you check out the rest of the cards that are actually kept, it makes a lot of sense that these are the tools that you want against a bit of a slower deck because you want to deny their win conditions. So understanding how to bully certain matchups is going to be very important for you to climb the ladder very quickly, which you can definitely do with this deck. And one last list that I want to show before we get into the gameplay clips is going to be this new list that is kind of emerging, because we've taken out one Take to the Skies, we've taken out the Dollhouse, and we've taken out the Magical Toy Chest for a Pendant of Earth and 2 Cactus Constructs to really hammer in on how we want our early game tempo to just steamroll out of nowhere. We want that 1 drop in order to have that guaranteed 2 drop if we don't have our Splish Splash Whelp. Pendant of Earth is a really useful tool at being able to heal up as well as giving us
extra synergies with Dorian to also enable the Dorian Independent of Earth into Flowerchild high rolls. So I think that is a very effective way to scam this deck, to where if you want the best list possible, this is going to be the list that I'm recommending. But the gameplay clips coming up ahead are going to showcase the Magical Dollhouse and Toy Chest list that, again, would also be perfectly fine to climb all the way up to Legend. But the last thing that I'm going to say about this deck before we go into the gameplay clips is that it's really sad to me how this deck kind of flew under the radar, and now it's too late to do anything because we missed a balance patch. Like, it's just one of those things that really goes to show how sometimes Hearthstone design can kind of be all over the place, to where, you know, the game is balanced until we find the good deck that everyone starts playing, and now suddenly we're in a situation to where it's exactly like Ramp Druid was before the previous rotation, to where one deck is truly, you know, on top of the ladder. We have 1 week of data to prove this, and it is just looking like a very scary situation, to where even Vicious Syndicate, you know, went on their very recent report saying that, you know, hey, every deck is going to be bad in Druid. We're going to sound like a broken record on this, and it's just the sad state of Hearthstone when you only have a 4-set meta. I'm going to have a future video that goes more into detail about like the successes and the failures of this particular expansion, but one thing that is very important to note is that a 4-set expansion is always going to have these kind of problems, just simply due to the fact that we don't have a lot of cards to explore. So if you want to play the most busted deck in the world right now, if you want the easiest legend climb of your life, this is going to be the best way to do it quickly. So just do it now so you don't have to play this deck ever again. I'm already sick of this deck. And don't forget, if you do enjoy this kind of content, feel free to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, check out the Patreon, and if you want different ways of being able to support the content, 10% off of shirts into the AM Clark HS10 coupon code. I've done enough talking. Let's let the Druid gameplay speak for itself, because it is honestly disgusting. So thank you so much for making it to the end of this deck intro, and we will see you for the next video where hopefully Malfurion doesn't break my kneecaps. That arrow was when I finally learned Rogue. I could never figure out that class. I'm still waiting for my arrow to learn DK. I play it a lot, but man, I suck ass. Well, here's the thing about DK. Like, most of the time when you play it, you're just making the max tempo plays. Like, DK a lot of the time is, it does care about what your opponent is doing. But more times than not, your big board is what matters more. The bigger board. Okay, so we gotta wait for the Whelp so we can play the Whelp. Time for Aviana into Rogue. Alright, well. Hopefully this 3-2 does not get out of control. I would rather take the mana than have the early game start, because I could just do this into this now. And our curves are gonna start filling themselves. Spinetail and Chia Drake? Okay. We could save coin for Ziliax. Drake into Mini Drake. Is Hearthstone win rate rigged like in LoL? I mean, some people would think it is. The obvious answer is obviously not. Because if Hearthstone was rigged, then why would they... If Hearthstone was rigged, then why would you bother buying packs, you know? If every game truly is fixed... Like, that's just not a good business model, you know what I mean? Okay, so knock this out, do this. Can't really coin the toy chest, nor do I want to, so we'll wait. Yo, what's going on, Curly? Good to see you. Addiction? I mean, there is a lot of addiction when it comes to the Hearthstone community. And League of Legends. Is it actually rigged in League, or is it just copium? I mean, think of it this way, like, why am I always getting paired into the worst fucking teammates? That's always what I have to ask. Why are my teammates always fucking garbage? I see something a little gimmicky. Give me Yogg. Okay, never mind. I can work with this. Alright, you get your value, I get my value. I also have double Yogg now. And double Doomkin. Oh my god, it's over. Dude, it's over. Double Doomkin ends the game. Double Doomkin. It's over, bro. Are teammates in duo also garbage? Well, okay. Here's the thing about duos. You only have one. You only have one teammate, right? In League of Legends, I don't know how many people are on a team, but it's way more than 2. I'm dooming. I'm dooming everywhere, dude. It's funny how one letter changes an entire sentence. Did he not get a minion? Oh my god, he didn't draw a minion? Doomkin. Yogg. Yogg steal this so that way he can't get value from it. Hopefully the Yogg doesn't fucker me. But dude, he's got 4 mana. Wait, no! What are you doing, Yogg? No, my other Doomkin! No, I was gonna keep him down. I was gonna keep him like in the dirt. Oh man. Is this a high roll? Oh yeah, definitely, dude. If you hit Dorian into Flowerchild, yes, it is definitely the high roll. And honestly though, Doomkin was the best card to get. It really was. And now I can just play for tempo and there's nothing he can do to stop me. Oh wait, I should have done this first. Oh wait, whoops. Should have gained a spell. Okay, I'm misclicking all over the place, but it's fine. I'm misclicking everywhere. It's actually good, so that way I can play swipe for damage next turn. They draw Reno and what else? Doesn't matter, bro. Who cares if they draw Reno? They got 5 mana. Post-Doom Clarity. Alright. Well, keep is a dragon, but everything else must go away. Whoever dooms on their opponent first kind of wins. In the mirror, usually whoever plays the Doomkin first is gonna win. Because I mean, more mana, more likely to win. Okay, Pain Warlock. Wait a minute. I don't know how good of a matchup this is for me. It's probably not a good one at all. So we have this into turn 3 into this on 4. I'm glad Doomkin finally has a card in Hearthstone. It's the goofiest spec ever. Okay, what's the Doomkin spec in WoW then? Because at first I thought you were about to say, oh man, I'm so glad that Doomkin's finally seeing play, and I was about to be like, wait a minute, this card does see play. It's seen play for a while now. Okay, looks like we lost. Wait, maybe we didn't.
Stay alert, my children.
Now I can coin Doomkin into coin the Ziliax. That's an actual win condition. Swipe maybe instead here. I want the Doomkin though. Oh, you! Okay, okay. You have to do it this way so this can trade into here. I could still play the Ziliax though, but if I play Doomkin, I can ENR into Ziliax, which is way better. Please don't get +6/+6. It's the only one that matters. 6/6 would also kind of hurt, I guess. Okay, that's... damn it. So there's 2 lines to consider. There's the Doomkin line where we go to 8 mana and we can ENR into Ziliax immediately. Or we play the Ziliax now, we kill the 6/6, we control for a bit. Next turn we play Doomkin. He needs 4 damage. This deck usually does not find ways of having damage unless he top decks the movements. I hope this doesn't lose me the game. I think Ziliax safe line, we lose in the end. And I feel like it just makes so much sense to play around this weakness there on this turn because they don't have direct damage. Okay, wait a minute, that's fine. Okay, we set up for this turn, we have to take it. Also, those trades, super fucking sus, by the way. Those trades were super sus. What Highlander deck do I hate the least? Probably Highlander Rainbow DK. But it's still a Reno deck and I don't like it. Oh my lord. I can't believe it, dude. We we keep winning. You calling out their sussy behavior is what made them concede. I mean, dude, those are such weird trades. Like, I mean, it kind of made sense, but only if you knew my next turn was exactly going to be Ziliax. I always add people who play Reno DH. They always earn my respect. Yeah, you gotta lift up your Hearthstone bros. And every now and again, like, when someone plays an archetype, they just need someone else to tell them, hey, keep doing it. Because you never know. Maybe that was like that last game where it's like, I'm never playing this deck again. And then you tell them, hey, man, cool deck. I hope you have success with it. Then maybe they're like, maybe I can keep going. Maybe we can keep doing this.
I raise, you fold.
Keep them at 3 mana, but having 2 coins is really annoying. You can kind of invalidate the Doomkin for at least a little bit, so I need my other Doomkin in order to really put him in his place. If I end up finding ENR, I might just use it for card draw. Why does Druid still have so much ramp? It really doesn't, but...
Stay alert, my children.
Like, honestly, Druid really doesn't have that much ramp. Like, the only reason this is working is because you have to run the dragon package for that extra ramp package. You know? Like, ramp Druid is not a thing, but Druid's ramping is a thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a pure ramp Druid deck that we classify as ramp Druid. You know? And that kind of, like, goes to show, it's like, what happens when we take away Nourish from the Druid class. When Druid doesn't have Nourish, ramp Druid cannot be a thing. Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Alright, let's see. Toy chest. Hell, I'd even take Yogg at this point. Marin would be really good. I don't want Fi. I guess we'll just play it because it's tempo. 3 mana for you, my good sir. 4 mana for you, 10 mana for me. It seems fair. Okay, Marin. I need a Marin turn. I need a lot of tempo. I need something good. Come on, baby. Swipe is good, but not that good. It is 10 damage in the pocket, though. Ramp has always been part of Druid's identity. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm just saying that there's not a ramp Druid right now. Wait, did he even forge? Didn't even notice. You have 18. How do we top deck 8? There's no way. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Come on, good card. Dude, what? I'm playing ramp Druid? No, I'm playing tempo Druid. I just explained that there is no ramp Druid. Ramp Druid is not a thing right now, and I'm talking about like a deck that is trying to get the 10 mana quickly for like a 10 mana combo or like for some sort of payoff for like a huge mana cost. This is a Druid that ramps. It is not a ramp Druid. Oh, he's playing Bran. Well, I Doomkinned him, and he's still playing this on time. All right, about 3 turns too late, but finally. Immediately followed by Marin. Super annoying. I'm actually gonna lose to the Reno Druid because I just couldn't draw my top end in time. Let's see. Double swipe in the Trog could be really good. Could potentially do that again and maybe end the game. Yeah, swipes in the Trogs. Super powerful combo. Right before his Reno turn as well. 6. Wait a minute. Yeah, swipe into this just ends it. So I don't even need the spell damage.
You're merely a pawn.
I love it when we kill this deck, but that took way too long. It took way too long, but that's the power. Okay, so I think that's the main win condition. After playing this for about 10 games, that has to be the main win condition. Swiping, removing the entire board into Trog Gem Tosser, and the fact that you could do that twice, that is the gas in this deck. That is why you can run all these other greedy cards, because that is your main win condition, to deal a crap ton of damage. To where even if you have like barely any minions, you're gonna be dealing this amount of damage because you're gonna be ramp up to 10 pretty quickly, while they're sitting at like 4. Yeah, I think this deck's actually a legit meta breaker. Another dead, another baby seal, yes. Another dead warrior means another baby seal has been born. I love this lore. I love this lore that we're creating for the stream. We have to keep slaughtering the Reno warriors to bring back the baby seals. Even Druid, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute, dude. This guy wouldn't care if I took away his mana. All right, this hand is perfect though. This is like the perfect sequence of turns. 2, 3 into 4. They always have Groovy Cat on 2, dude. Okay, now it's the perfect hand. It actually becomes even more perfect if I draw the other one. Hero Power Druid, ew. This deck is kind of cool, but it's super linear. Like case in point, dude. Like, if you don't have this start, you have a wet fart of a turn half the time.
Stay alert, my children.
I'm just gonna play my minions. They'll kill this. I may not be able to Doomkin, which is really sad. I feel like all decks are boring at the moment because all decks are required. Like, there's actually a great way of describing this. Decks right now feel like it's a deck of 2 cards that actually matter, that are supplemented with 28 useless cards that don't really feel like they help you win the game. But you have to run those other cards because you need a 30-card deck. But most decks right now are just a race to your win condition. And if you can get that win condition, then hell yeah. But if you don't, then you're just kind of sitting there as your opponent's having all the fun in the world. It's a very feast or famine meta right now. But like, case in point, dude, this guy didn't Hero Power with a minion. So now like he has more mana, but because of the taunt in the way, he's just losing because of it. Posture check and a hydrate. I actually need to refill my water bottle, so thank you for that reminder. All right, how much damage is this? Not enough.
My power grows.
All right, next turn is just lethal. Doomkin, who do you think you are? Hold on a minute, sir. Who the hell do you think you are playing that Doomkin in front of me? Do you think you are the Doom King? I don't think you understand how this works. So we have 6, potentially 14, 18. So it's not lethal by any means. So, dude, it's just Unkillziax though. Unkillziax ends this game. It's just GG at this point. I'll do this to respect it, so that way he can't clear this. Is that even Druid? Yep. There's a couple of these decks running around. Like, even Hero Power Druid does have, like, a pretty good looking list. It's just not, you know, top tier by any means. 1, 2, 3, 3, 9. So this works perfectly with the Innervate. Yeah, dude, this deck is so ridiculously powerful. It's actually insanely good. I wonder how this fights at top legend. Yo, what's going on, Chris? Good to see you, dude. We're playing some Dragon Tempo Burst, big minion, weird ass deck, Druid. I like to refer to this as, this is the most Druid deck that has ever Druid, so it's just Druid. That's all it is. It's just Druid. The most Druid to have ever Druid in Hearthstone. The only thing that could make this even more Druid is if Renethal was in the meta, so we could add 9 extra cards to this deck. Putting in some Sanic music. Looks fun. Yeah, this deck is really fun. If you like tempo and like having your minions do things, this is a good deck. And it's like, the Hearthstone, quote unquote, is boring right now, but this is the most boring Hearthstone will ever be, with the least amount of cards that we can mess with right now. So that's always something to keep in mind. Wait, why is he coining? Oh, mining casualties? Okay, that's, I guess, fine. This actually feels like a little bit of a waste, because I could just do this, and now he doesn't have any minions. Versus, if he would have done it last turn, or if he would have done it this turn, then I'd play Take to the Skies, and then he'd have minions. But I've also got Nest Matron into Spiketail, so...
Who's ready for
Oh! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! It's exactly what he wanted, dude. It's literally exactly what he wanted. Oh no. Okay, we got a really good next turn though. Boop and a boop and a boop. Or do we boop 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 instead and hold this for later? Probably better to hold the 4/5 for now and just go for maximum stats.
The citadel stands
Yeah. Do we ever ramp instead?
Stay alert, stay alert.
Nah. Dragons! Am I right? Am I right about dragons, chat? They're pretty cool. So we could play Whelp into Coin Spinetail.
I smell gold in them there waters. Keep on panning.
Alright, maximum tempo, maximum armor, or not armor, maximum mana. If he plays the taunt, I'm worried. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried if he plays the taunt. However, I don't even know if I want to kill it. Maybe I just ramp and then take it with Yogg next turn. If he doesn't do anything good here, like if he doesn't play the taunt, I feel like I'm fine. But next turn, I feel like we have to ramp just to try and make sure that Yogg take the taunt wins the game. Because we just win with our minions. Okay, that's not a threat. Let's go with the swipe. Alright, here we go. Ziliax kills whatever he plays. If it's not... Oh, I should have played... I should have played around Cleave. I could have kept... Oh, dude, wait a minute. This actually plays perfectly into the Hound. Damn it. Okay, that's not good. Oh, but there's the Dorian! Oh my god, there's the Dorian, dude. Alright, I don't think we're losing now. Yo, Churro coming in with the raid. What's going on, guys? Welcome, welcome. We're playing the most Druid deck to have ever Druid, and it's killing it right now. It ain't much, but it's an honest raid. Hey, man, every raid is a good raid. Never invalidate the power of your influence. Unless you're Rezka stealing a 1/1. If you're Rezka stealing a 1/1, then your influence of mind control might need a little bit of work. 10% luck, guys. Only 10% luck. That's how much it takes. Okay. That was a super lucky Rezka. Yeah, I know, right? Jesus.
Compare to your plague.
Everybody else alone.
You're merely
All right, give me good cards. That's a pretty good card. An actually insane tempo. All right, well, I've got the double Doomkin. I don't need the mana, but my opponent definitely doesn't need it either. 100% chance he remembers this game. Oh, that's a good one. I feel like somebody's already made like a remix of this song for gaming and whatnot, but imagine coming up with like a version of this song for Hearthstone. It'd be cringe, but it would be wholesome. As long as the lyrics slapped. Top 1,000, dude. Oh my, dude, this is the easiest deck right now. This is like actually one of the most simple, easiest decks to be playing right now.